All right, it's time to talk college football with PK, back from Seattle, wearing the Sonics gear. They never should have moved. That was
well, you know, the Sonics, they've been my team for a long time.
Oh, really?
Oh, yeah. When I was growing up, I had pictures of Lonnie Shelton and Wally Walker my bedroom walls.
Okay, no Jack Sikma, huh?
No, he went to the Bucks. No, true Sonics. Okay. Shelton, Wally Walker. And, man, I spent 3 days in Seattle.
Yeah.
Oh, my gosh. Every place I went, the entire time, the smell of marijuana. It was,
really?
Yes,
Really?
It's legal up there. I thought I was at a fraternity party for, ooh, should I go Utah? Utah State? BYU? No, I'm going to go in the 80s, UC Santa Barbara.
Oh, thanks so much. A 7th grade bus stop.
7th grade bus stop, you were doing it?
Bonita Vista Junior High. Well, the 9th graders were.
No
down
wonder
the
why
hill.
you're so happy.
All right, let's start with the Utes here. Before we get to some individual players who've elevated them, the whole November jinx thing has been a big thing among Ute fans. They won the biggest November game. It could set them up for a pratfall in one of the last 3, but you don't think it's going to happen.
No.
What's their ultimate destination?
The ultimate destination?
Pac-12 title game? Rose Bowl? What? College football playoff? What do you got to say?
Obviously the Pac-12 title game.
Your tease was excellent. I want to pay it off.
Yeah. I don't think they can get in the playoff. There's a couple of things going on here. One, their non-conference schedule isn't good enough. And 2, their conference stinks. Yep. I mean, they're just not good enough. You look at the conference right now, and everybody's either 4-5, 4-4, 5-4. There's a couple of teams who are 5-3 because they were fortunate enough to have their byes to where they haven't lost 4 games yet. So there's only 2 really good teams in this league, and it looks like they're going to play each other. And Oregon had a shot, and they lost to the team Auburn, who's ranked, 3rd in the SEC West. So I just don't see it. But I'm thinking, hey, man, Rose Bowl, it's right there. This is a 2-player race for MVP or most whatever they have, best player in the conference. And it's Herbert at Oregon, and it's Tyler Huntley at Utah.
Well, we're going to get to both those guys, and let's start with Tyler Huntley, because to get to this point, regardless of where it goes, to get to this point, Ute fans have been saying forever, and they've been right, the passing game's got to be better. Huntley, 19 of 24, 284 yards, spread the ball around to 9 different receivers, pushed the ball down the field. He wasn't dinking and dunking.
Not at all.
And I thought especially on 3rd down, there were massive 3rd down plays made by the Utah passing game.
Yeah, I mean, I was at the game. I just got back from Seattle just a couple hours ago, and he was absolutely brilliant. I can make a statement that he's having the best year for a senior of any quarterback in our state since John Beck in 2006. He is brilliant. You cannot say anything but superlatives about the way he's played. Not the best interview, but I don't care about that. What I care about is his ability out on the field, and he has everybody's confidence, complete and total. Hats off to this kid. He is sensational.
Not only have the Utes improved in the passing game, and this Samson Nakua catch, this was a huge catch late in this game, but not only improved there in the passing game, and they've had good running backs, but Zack Moss, 27 carries for 100 yards. And when they got the right combination of offensive linemen in front of him, because they couldn't get it going in the first quarter, they were down 14-3, and he literally carried them back into the game on that drive, mostly as a running back, but partly as a receiver. And these plays are all from that drive. His combination of size, power, and speed, they've had other good backs, but he's the best.
Oh, yeah, I think he's the best since they've been in the Pac-12, and that they had Devontae Booker, who's
good. He's good,
in the NFL. But Zack Moss is so consistent in everything that he does. You know exactly what you're going to get. You may get a 1-yard run, but then you're going to get a 25-yard run. You're going to get a 14-yard run. And he's got great hands. He understands his assignments. He's a mature kid. He's another kid that you really can't say enough about because he is going to be there. And over the course of 4 quarters, he's going to get the job done. You can bank on it. You can count on it. It will happen.
You know, Kyle Whittingham is a stat geek, and if we let these highlights roll for just a minute.
He's just a geek, actually.
But he also loves when guys get trucked like, there!
Yeah.
As much as he loves all the stats and the numbers, he can break them down for you. He does. He's still a former linebacker. He loves the physical side of football. Now, there are a couple other things. The defensive backfield's been good for a long time, but they've got arguably the best of all their defensive backs. And after the game, I know you might not agree.
Are you talking collectively or singularly?
It could be either. That's a debate. But after the game, the opposing coach, Chris Peterson, says the play of the game was the pick six.
Oh, there's no question.
Yeah.
Number one. He's number one in the program, and he's number one on the field. And he also is number one in Utah defensive history since they've been in the Pac-12. How's that for a hot take so late in the night? Jaylon Johnson is the best defensive player that the Utes have had since they joined the conference in 2011. He's sensational. He'll be a high pick, and he'll be really good at the pro level. And I realize they've had some other guys, Lotulele and Trevor Riley and a few others, and we've got Marquise Blair, Cody Barton with the Seahawks. I saw them play. I actually went to the game today. Cody Barton had a nice tackle on his special teams. He's biding his time backing up Bobby Wagner right now. But Jaylon Johnson, you do not throw to his side. And Eason made a fatal mistake, and that changed everything in that game. You could just feel it being down on the sidelines. And look at him push the guy. Get out of my way, man. He's like a running back. He's looking for a block, too. And the kid is going to graduate. He's only a junior, but this is it. You only got him for what? They got 3 more games, and then a conference title game, and then a bowl game, which I believe has a good shot to be the Rose Bowl. So you got him for 5 more games, and then he's off to the NFL, and he's going to be rich, and everything he's going to get, he deserves also.
All right, the Utes still have 3 games to win to get to the Pac-12 title game. They will be favored in all of them. Assuming they get to the Pac-12 title game, Oregon and Justin Herbert are there waiting. He ran for a score and threw for 3 more. And watching Oregon play against USC last night, I was really struck by the fact that the Trojan and Husky passing games have given the Utes some problems. Obviously, USC won, and Washington had a big lead. And Oregon can do a lot of things they do. Not the same way. They don't have 3 elite receivers the way USC does. But they got a quarterback who could have been a high pick, if not the #1 pick a year ago, and chose to come back to school. And he looked awesome when they got down by 10.
Oh, he certainly did, man. I mean, he was on the top of his game. Even after he got hurt, he came back in. And him coming back for the year, I think it's raised his stock. And if it plays out, and I hope it does at this point, because it's best for the Pac-12 to have these 2 teams in the title game, it'll be a stern test for the Utes. Because right now, their best victory is over Washington, right?
Right.
They're only 5-4.
Yeah.
So they need to be tested. And Oregon is going to provide that test. We'll see what happens. We still have another month to go, but I'm really looking forward to that game. I'd be disappointed if we don't have it.
There is a chance that the Utes will beat an 8-win team in BYU if BYU wins out. They got the big win at Utah State. Their defense, I mean, Jordan Love's been throwing picks this year. He threw 3 more in this game. BYU's defense got dialed in on him. He was 29 of 49 for 394 yards. But the 1 score, the 3 picks for the season now, 9 touchdowns, 12 interceptions. Good for BYU because they did what they had to do, but this isn't just a 1-game issue for the Aggies either.
Yeah, I think Jordan Love is taking the weight of the world on his shoulders now and trying to make plays that aren't necessarily there. Because how do you come back from a season that he had last year? Because he was so brilliant. And so the talent isn't there. We had Gary Anderson on the radio. He's talking about that. You got to give BYU's defense credit. They're just playing with a lot more enthusiasm, a lot more emotion. Kalani Sitake has infused a lot more confidence into this group. And yeah, right now I'm expecting them to go 8-4. And I know they got 3 easy ones coming up. At least I think so. And that San Diego State game should be difficult at the end. We'll see what happens when we get there. But for now, they've got all the mojo they need. And they will take what, a 5-6 game winning streak? Do the math for me. Help me out. Come on, help me out.
It'll be 5 going for 6.
5. All right. I'm not good at math.
At San Diego State.
Right. So they could actually spend the end of the season with a 6-game winning streak, which, come on, guys, you got to give Solani,
you did it.
That dude a couple of weeks ago back in that, whatever that was.
Well, there were 2 games that happened in.
Yeah, you got to give old Salami, whatever his name is, you got to give him a contract and give him a bunch of fat salami so he is there to see this thing through.
Underrated, I thought, in this game. They're playing their 2nd-string quarterback, and Jaron Hall gets hurt on this touchdown run that makes it 21-7.
Yeah.
And the Aggies scored to make it 21-14. You're going to your 3rd-string quarterback. Nobody blinked. I thought that was big, underrated. They came out in the second half. And I guess actually there was 1 snap to kneel down. But they came out with Romney.
I get your point.
Right. And came out Romney, and they got touchdowns on their first 2 possessions. And I thought that was impressive that nobody flinched, nobody blinked at that point.
Romney's a proven commodity already, man, as a 3rd teamer. When do you have that? And yet the Cougars have it. You've got to give him credit to stay ready. And then you got to give Roderick and Grimes credit for getting him ready. And the running backs, where were these guys earlier? This is crazy. They finally put it together, and I guess that's all that matters is you finally did it. We would like to see it earlier, but you're doing it in a time to where you could still have a pretty good season. So it looks like that's where they're going.
All right. More on all of this, more on Baylor Romney, more on the Cougars, more on the Utes. The top 10 Utes look like they're pointed to an 11-1 versus 11-1 in the Pac-12 title game. We'll do all that tomorrow morning on 97.5 and 1280 The Zone. DJ and PK. Coming up next on Talkin Sports,